Good morning, Old Bridge. It's Brooke Richards-Patterson here. Happy Saturday. Just getting my morning steps in, and I usually try to catch the sunrise when I'm doing so. Watch. I have this beautiful view, and we're getting there. We're getting there. We'll see if the sun comes out. I just wanted to do a recap. On Thursday night, there was the superintendent search community Zoom. There was only maybe like 35 people there. Honestly, it's prepared to have the whole district. I know they've had Zooms well over 500 people. And so I encourage you to attend. There's going to be another one this upcoming Wednesday, August 27th at 7 p.m. I will link it during the week. I always try to send a reminder more on the day or close to the day. But there will be 3 installments. So it was this past week, it'll be next week, and then September 11th. I have a little visitor here. She was trying to climb up here. Okay. So there were community members speaking. I kind of waited till the end. It was awesome to see actually an alumni of Old Bridge that graduated last year. She pretty much took the mic for a good amount of the time. And there were other parents speaking, and I always speak, so I wanted to give everybody else a chance to speak. I love when people come and participate. So 4 questions. One was, what are the strengths of Old Bridge? The second one was, what are the challenges? The third, what are our desired characteristics? And the fourth, is there anything else to share? Overall, people were talking about the school spirit, the community feeling, how it's a large community but a small town feel, like the divisiveness that have happened since school shutdowns, which is absolutely true. I'd love if everybody could just come together and get on board. I feel like the Board of Ed meetings have become a reality show, to be honest with you, and taken away from what's important, which is the stakeholders and the children and the faculty. I know I had mentioned direct transparency, meaning we have the real time, we have lots of different avenues to get information about school things. Why not use them for Board of Ed things? We do not receive them, meaning like, we get these messages blasted out, whether it's text, a voice note, email. It's usually all of the above when there's a school closure or something, going on with the schools, but there's never anything Board of Ed related. And then people are left scratching their heads saying, well, where was our notice that you were cutting late buses, and what are we supposed to do? And they're finding out after the Board of Ed has already voted on the budget, and they've been doing it for months, right? They're expected to go on the district website and troll that all day, every day, to see what new policies are in place and what's going. I mean, there's things that are there from Board of Ed from over a decade ago. Who's going to actually check that out all the time on a steady basis, when we're working? Just send out a message. I mentioned the fact that Superintendent in Wayne, the prior one, used to have a newsletter, a digital newsletter. Do that weekly and share what's going on with the Board of Ed and advertise that, so you don't have people like this, or you're making these backhanded, afterthought messages that, oh, it's on the district website. Yes, it is, but we need direct information. I mean, this is the problem. This is how a lot of people ended up getting involved at Board of Ed meetings, is the lack of transparency. So that is a big one. The challenge is the budgeting, right? We've heard now for 7 years about these cuts. I mean, it's nothing new. Let's get a future plan to avoid having to keep closing schools and, making drastic cuts that we don't want to, the cost of everything keeps going up. The cost of living keeps going up. Let's get ahead of it and have somebody conservative. The ability to handle pressures of the community and faculty and still make responsible decisions that's best for all involved. And I mentioned specifically the para burnout. These are things that I discovered during my campaigning, and it seems to be a 2-part. It's a domino effect where there's paras that don't feel seen and heard and supported in their day-to-day, and it's causing a burnout. And then obviously families, right, are going to be upset with things not handled and addressed the way that they would like. And it starts at home, so to speak. It starts at the school, though. It's my analogy. And to be able to listen to all sides, the faculty, the parents, somebody that is emotionally intelligent, meaning one thing I mentioned at the end, because there was a mother there that was like, she's running for Board of Ed actually, making faces at me and laughing at me from the moment I opened my mouth. I didn't even start speaking. So I held off till the end um, and mentioned the retaliation. This was one thing I heard about that people have pressed upon heavily, is the fear of retaliation. Why there's people that align with me actually in a lot of things, or just don't align with me but are afraid to speak at meetings, in emails, and phone calls, from parents to faculty members, is this constant fear of retaliation. They think either their children are going to be retaliated against if they speak up and they're not happy, and they voice this, and faculty members think it too. They've mentioned that they feel that the superintendent and admin have access to emails. There should be a safe way. Um, there's also, they have not had the support. I'll just leave it at that without getting too involved with who and what. But that is really important, is not just to assume that every supervisor is hands-on and getting in the trenches and checking things out. Check for yourself too, not just depend on somebody else's testimony. And I'm not saying that anybody did. I'm just saying these are concerns that I have personally witnessed from several people that have gotten to know me over the past year during my campaign. So somebody that's professional. There's been talk of interpersonal relationships. Somebody that needs to be objective, non-political, and completely zero focused, with experience on budgeting, and has a background in crisis situations, and is not easily swayed by faculty members, parents, um, just all of the above. This is a huge community. I know people have talked about it before. It really is the largest employment business, so to speak, in town, and it's a big job. These are big shoes to fill. I can appreciate that our previous superintendent, um, everybody knew him. He had a presence, and um, definitely would look forward to and value that school spirit. So here's my friend coming up when I'm going to go continue getting my steps. I hope that you have a great day. And that is what I mean by my friend. She's coming up. This is what makes getting up early worth it. Have a great day, Old Bridge.